Hello. Today I'm in the ghetto of Venice. You know, it's the world's very first ghetto, meaning a place where the Jewish population was segregated from the other population. And I'm specifically here to tell you the story of Sarra Copia Sulam. So she lived here in Venice. We think she was born in 1600, 1601. There's some dispute, but that seems to be the best record. And she was really quite a remarkable woman. She married, well, she first had a father who supported her in her education, and he had tutors for her. He helped her to learn different languages, including Latin. And then she married a man who also supported her in her education. In fact, in their house they ran a literary salon. And this was at a time in the 1600s when usually the literary salons were run by men. So it's quite unusual for a woman to have this in the first place. Also unusual is she was Jewish. This is the ghetto. It was the Jewish community. And yet in her literary salon, she invited both Christians and Jews to come together and discuss all sorts of ideas: literature, philosophy, the ancient Greeks, grammar, poetry, all sorts of things. So that's two reasons she was really remarkable. She also was a writer. And she wrote a manifesto about the soul's immortality. Unfortunately, here's where things began to go a little bit bad. There was a man named Baldassare Bonifacio, and he actually was one of her tutors, but who knows why, maybe he was afraid that an intelligent woman would have some power, maybe it would make men look bad, I don't know. But for some reason he decided to sort of publicly attack her. And he said that in her manifesto she said things that were heresy against the church. Now, in this very small Jewish community, this was very, very dangerous. And it could harm her, could put her in danger of the Venetian Inquisition, but actually it could harm the whole Jewish community. So this was really a problem. Luckily, she had a lot of supporters here who came to her defense, including the rabbi at the time, Leon Modena, one of the rabbis, but one of the best known. And he has quite a few writings, and he was a great supporter of hers. In fact, he wrote the epitaph on her grave. Sarra Copia Sulam also wrote letters with a cleric, a Christian cleric named Ansaldo Ceba. They never met in person, but they had this correspondence. And at the time, this kind of correspondence was often done with the idea that it would be published. So they knew this would happen. Again, unfortunately, Ansaldo Ceba seemed to use this as an opportunity for his own fame. So he published the letters that he wrote to Sarra, but did not publish her letters back. So in a sense, he silenced her, yet he had her name on this book of correspondence, which would increase his fame. So another guy who was really just using her. There was also a third one, unfortunately, Numidio, and he duped her, he tricked her, he stole money from her. You know, and unfortunately, this wonderful, intelligent, generous woman who opened her house to many others was used by these men in this way. But she was a fighter, she was strong, and she had a strong husband, a strong family, and community to support her. Unfortunately, she died quite young. She was, we think, about 41 when she died. But she lived here in the Venetian ghetto and would have attended one of the synagogues. I couldn't find which records of which synagogue she attended. We also don't know exactly which house. There is a Palazzo Sulam there, just over the bridge. There's no record that it points to exactly that being her house, but it was a house owned by the Sulam family, so perhaps she did live there. But it's wonderful to remember this really important Venetian woman.